Hello and welcome back. In today's video, I'm here to give you my pre-match thoughts going into the game between Burnley and Luton. Both teams have something to play for. Burnley, if they win, they could climb into the top two of the Championship, whereas Luton, we're at the bottom end of the Championship table and we want to climb out of those relegation places, and picking up a positive result away against Burnley, where our away form hasn't been great, would be a fantastic result going into the Cardiff game midweek. So both teams have got something to play for in this one. Before I talk about my game plan going into this game against Burnley, let's talk about the previous game for Luton, which was against Portsmouth. Now, against Portsmouth, I thought it was a fantastic defensive display. I thought it was the best defending I've seen all season, and I walked away from the stadium thinking, wow, we can win a game of football and we can also defend very well. Portsmouth, I felt, yes, they were poor going forward. I still believe they made it very tough for us, and we did have to work extremely hard to get the 3 points. And of course, we're going to have to replicate that defensive performance against Burnley on Saturday. We all know what the problems are for Luton, and it's going forward. We're not quite clicking in front of goal. We're not scoring goals for fun. And when it does eventually click in front of goal, I do think we can cause teams all sorts of problems. Now, what I'm hoping for is going into this game against Burnley, showing the defensive performance which we did against Portsmouth, and if we can show the attacking display which we did against Sheffield United at home against Burnley, I think we might stand a chance in walking away with a positive result. But it's about trying to find that right balance between defending and attacking. But what I also want us to do is stop going long, because I feel like, yes, sometimes there's a time and place to do it, but we've got players in the midfield who want the ball. Walsh, Asgard, they are very comfortable at receiving the ball, and they're quite good at keeping it, retaining it, and being creative. So why don't we play through the middle? We've got the players to do it. In the past, I don't think we did, but we do now. So why don't we try it? Let's be a little bit different. Let's not be one-dimensional. Last time we played against Burnley was right at the start of the season. And let's be honest, it's not going to be the same type of game. Burnley, after we played against them, sold loads of their players. But we also went into that game with loads of injuries. Our centre-backs, their average age was 20 years old. We also had other youngsters playing in the starting 11. It wasn't a great start to the season, and I think we all knew from that first game something was wrong. To be fair, some of us had that feeling in pre-season when we weren't having certain players back from injury, and also the performances during those pre-season games, they weren't really great. So the warning signs were there, but I would like to think now we are a completely different team, a team that has been quite damaged over the course of the season. But with Cal Naismith being in this Luton Town team, we've got organisation and we now have some leadership at the back. So what would be my game plan for this game against Burnley? I think we've got a fantastic opportunity at frustrating the Burnley fans. And what I mean by that is, it's been proven all season, Burnley, especially at home, they've drawn 8 games. They do struggle, in my opinion, to break teams down. For me, Scott Parker's style of play is more suited away from home compared to at home. Now, away from home, teams will be attacking. They will want to win the 3 points, especially in their home games. And that does suit the way Burnley like to play, because they're very good at counter-attacking and very good in the transition. So when teams like Sheffield Wednesday go to Burnley and try and be attacking, Burnley are going to take full advantage of that, because there's going to be space in behind, and that's why they won 4-0 against Sheffield Wednesday. Sheffield Wednesday piled on the pressure, they wanted to be front-footed, but when you're front-footed against Burnley, they just take full advantage. Their quality in the final third is ruthless, and they will take their chances when you give them opportunities. And that's what worries me in this. I want us to game manage this game properly. We don't need to be front-footed. Yes, we need points on the board. Yes, we need to climb out of the bottom 3, but we need to be smart about this. We need to game manage this. If we go front-footed, Burnley will take full advantage of that, because going forward, they will be clinical. I think we should do what other teams do to Luton, and that is counter-attack. I think we should have a very good counter-attack style of play going into this game on Saturday, because Burnley will struggle to break us down if we put 11 players behind the ball. We've seen teams do it against us, Plymouth, Preston, Millwall in recent weeks. So why don't we do it against the very best in the Championship? With us playing with wing backs as well, if we're going to push them forward and get them on the ball and attacking, Burnley with their wide attacking players in Anthony and Edwards, they will exploit that space in behind, which will leave them one-on-one with our centre halves. And if I'm being honest with you, I think they will win that battle. I think it's very important to pick the right moments to go and attack them. I also think as the game goes on, if it stays 0-0, I think the Burnley fans will get frustrated because they know at home against Luton, it's a fantastic opportunity for them to go 2 points away from Leeds if they do win, and also an opportunity to go above Sheffield United because Preston are away against Sheffield United, and if Preston do what they did to us and succeed and walk away with a point, or even better get the 3 points away against Sheffield United, then Burnley would miss out on a fantastic opportunity at going above them. I think their fans will look at it and go, we can't be dropping points at home against Luton. So why don't we make it very, very difficult like what teams do to us? Look, it's not going to be easy. The Burnley players, for me, they love defending. But I think their problems is breaking teams down. There's a reason why they've picked up 8 draws at home, and it's because they struggle to get that goal. And if they do get the goal, they struggle to get the second goal. So that could go in our favour. But we need to make sure that we don't give up. If we go 1-0 down, don't give up, because it's not often Burnley do get that second goal. So what would be my starting 11 for this game against Burnley? Now, I would only make one change. And as I've already mentioned in today's video, I would play a more counter-attacking style of play. And I think you're going to need pace up top. Now, Brown, yes, he does have a bit of pace, but I don't think he's great at holding on to the ball. And I think him falling to the ground far too easily in recent weeks, I don't think we're going to get these cheap free kicks. So I want someone who can hold the ball up. We know Morris can do quite a good job of it, but I think he needs someone quite quick next to him, and that's why I would start Ali up top alongside with Morris. Ali, who's got a non-league background, he is used to having defenders that would just want to go straight through you, that want to kick you. So he's used to having that battle. So I would play that type of mentality against Burnley, a team that love to defend. So having someone like Ali, who's got that pace, who likes a battle, I think would be quite handy alongside with Morris, and I do think that would give us the ability to counter-attack Burnley. So that would be the only change I would make. Otherwise, I would just keep the same starting 11 that played against Portsmouth. Now, I wouldn't swap out Makosso for McGuinness, because McGuinness, for me, if he does play as that right-sided centre-back, if Isaiah Jones is going to push forward, Anthony, the left attacker for Burnley, he will exploit McGuinness. He will make McGuinness look really stupid with his skill, with his dribbling, with his pace. At least with Makosso, he can keep up with Anthony. Anthony might still beat him with that bit of skill or that dribbling ability, but at least Makosso can recover quite well, and we've seen that in the game against Portsmouth. So that would be my starting 11. There's no need to make too many changes. I feel like, especially in defence, over the course of the season, we've made far too many changes at the back, and I do think it's had an impact in getting results. So what is my score prediction for this game? Now, Burnley, as I've mentioned, they love defending. Luton, we are not scoring many goals right now. So if you say to me, Lewis, would you take a 0-0? Yes, I would, and that is my score prediction. 100% before a ball is kicked, I would take a point. And I do think a point away from home against Burnley is a good result. The season where Nathan Jones came back and kept us up in the Championship, we had to go to Leeds away, which was a tough place to go because Leeds went up that season, and get a point, and we did exactly that. And now we've got to do something quite similar. We've got to go to Burnley, a tough place to go, and get a point. And I do believe the confidence from that Portsmouth win will help. Now, if we walk away with a positive result and get a draw against Burnley, the players will have a lot of confidence going to that midweek game against Cardiff, which on paper is a far more important game than the Burnley one, with some confidence. So that is the one we need to look at. But going into that one, we do not want to go into the game against Cardiff on the back of a 3-0 defeat. I think that's very important. So getting a draw, I don't think is a bad result. I understand why people want to get the 3 points, but let's manage these games coming up. We want to beat the teams around us. Those are the most important ones. So walking away with something rather than nothing against Burnley, I would say, is a positive. And fingers crossed Luton can do exactly that. So those are my thoughts and my score prediction. Let me know your score predictions down below and your thoughts going into this game. Drop a like on today's video. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe for more Luton Town content and EFL content. If you want to become a member on my channel, the link is in the description below. And I'll see you guys in my match reaction after the game against Burnley.